Hi folks, John with the Wingman 115 channel. Thank you so much for checking in today. Out here in the local backcountry, we're out here doing a little bit of metal detecting them with my nephew Jared. We're cruising some of these old campsites looking for coin dumps. People get out of their trucks, they reach in their pocket, coins fall out and such. It's just a fun hobby to do. But I wanted to talk to you folks today about sun protection. Now, as a younger man, I never really concerned myself so much with sun protection, but as I'm getting older, a lot of my good friends are suffering from the effects of skin cancer, melanoma, just a variety of different ailments that could have been prevented with a little bit of protection. Now, one of the articles I'm going to be talking about today is hats. Now, this hat in particular is made by a company called Shelta hats. This is the Seahawk. They make a couple different models. That company was born out of necessity. It was some surfers, some kayakers, and guys that just love fishing out on the ocean down here in SoCal. They needed a hat that was going to offer some protection out on the water, because it's just like being at elevation. You're out there, there is just no shade. So they wanted to come up with a hat that the brim wasn't going to fold down in their face while they're surfing, bodyboarding, kayaking, in the event the hat got soaking wet, which a lot of boonies that happens to. So Shelta hats came up with this design, and they have a unique feature on the brim that we're going to be talking about here in a little bit. So without further ado, what we're going to do is cut away. We'll do a quick specs rundown of this hat. We'll go through some of the features and the accessories that you can get with this hat, and then we'll bring it on back for some final thoughts. Folks, we're up here in the mountains. We're doing a little bit of metal detecting. It's a nice, brisk, crisp day. It doesn't get any better than this. The video starts now. Let's do a quick specs rundown of this hat. First off, let's talk about the brim measurements. We're looking at the front, 3 inches on the front, 2 1/4 inches on the side, and 2 1/2 inches in the back. Perfect for when you're riding around in your truck, or if you're wearing a collared shirt or jacket. Next, it has a UPF 50 plus rating. If you're on the water or you're up here at elevation, you're gonna want at least UPF 50 plus just to have that added protection. You're on the snow, you're gonna get harsh UV reflection off that, so it just helps you out. Now, you're gonna look at the front of this visor and you're asking yourself, that is pretty contoured. Well, you're exactly right. What makes the Shelta hats unique is that they put a piece of plastic in there, it's patent pending, and they sew it right into the brim. So this hat, it just stays firm, the brim. Now there's videos out there of guys in boats just hauling tail, doing 40, 50 miles an hour or more, and the brim just stays rock solid. If you were wearing a boonie hat and the brim got wet, it would just fold right over, it gets in your face. Now that was out of necessity. Guys that were surfing, they're kayaking, they're out there, they're catching waves, they're getting wet. The last thing you need is your boonie hat flip-flopping down in your face, in front of your eyes, and it's going to impede whatever activity that you're trying to do. So that is definitely what separates this hat from all the other hats out there. Now, it also has a convertible cord system. You have this cord in the front. You can lock it down. It stays on your head. If you're surfing, if you're kayaking, if you're boating, even if you're up here in the winds, the Santa Ana winds, they blow 60, 70 miles an hour. Has a clip on the cord, so you can hook it to the back of your hat. I do that. Or with that little anchor point, you can hook your hat to your shirt, so just added protection, you don't lose it. What I do is when I don't need it, I just hook it on, and then I run the cord up over the back of the brim, and it just stays out of the way. Hat is water repellent, has wicking headband, so it's going to wick the water away from your forehead. That's important when you're out there fishing and doing activities, especially out here in the desert as well. The hat is made out of 100% recycled polyester. So folks out there that are concerned about the environment, that is definitely a check in the plus column. If you look on the inside, the orange part, that has side mesh wicking liner. Have a couple photos where I was hiking with this. We were out and about with my buddy Jaime. We were just doing a little recon mission, and I'll tell you what, it kept my head ventilated really well. And as you can see, my hair is really thick, so I just sweat like crazy. Also has a reflective logo on the back. That's good for safety. Somebody's trying to find you at nighttime, picks up with the shine of a flashlight really well. The heat releasing vents in here on the side work really well. And one feature too is that they are screened. So it's going to keep all the little tiny mosies out of there from getting inside your hat. It has a one-handed size adjuster. Now they do make these in small, medium, large, and extra large. But if you really want to custom fit it to your head, there's an elastic that goes around the headband, and you're able to adjust it for your size. And here's a cool feature as well. It has a stash pocket, if I can get that open, on the inside. So if you need to put a little money in there, I usually like keeping a $20 bill for those just in case moments. You just never know. And it floats. So if, God forbid, it flies off your head, you lose it in whatever activity that you're doing, you'll be able to go back and retrieve it. And, oh, another point, washing. Say you're messing around on salt water, and like anything, you just don't want salt water to hang out in fabric. You just rinse it with fresh water and just hand wash it, and then let it air dry. Do not put it in the dryer. Here's another accessory that you can also get from Shelta hats. This is a balaclava. So for folks that are looking for 100% protection, this would definitely be the way to go. And like I said before, if you're fishing, just if you're exposed to the elements a lot, you need some level of protection. I see a lot of folks now, especially they have chunks of their ear being cut out and stuff just from melanoma. Well, this is going to take care of that problem straight away. Now, here is an accessory for folks that you may be out bass fishing. You're out there on a 1 or 2 day excursion fishing trip, or you're just hiking along and you just need some added neck and shoulder protection. They do make this cape. I'm sure I'm using the wrong name for it. I'll put it in the description below. That secures to the toggles for the chin strap. Just goes right in, almost like a little buttonhole. And let me put it on so you guys can see. So you get a little bit of added protection on your neck, side of your face. Be great if you're working construction, just to keep the sun from just wearing you out. Your ears, the back of your ears, mine always get sunburned. So just a little bit of added protection with that neck and shoulder cape on there. Now for some final thoughts on the Seahawk hat from Shelta Hats. First off, let's talk about the brim, because that's what separates this hat from just about every other hat maker out there. in this style. I really like that molded piece of plastic that's in the visor that's sewn in. Got great field of view. I like the fact that you could be tooling along on a jet ski or a fast motorboat, surfing, whatever activity that you do, fill in the blank, and your brim's not going to be flopping around in your eyes, going back like you're looking like F Troop from the old show back in the day. It just looks really good. I like the fabric, 100% recycled polyester, check in the plus column. Inside, you have the fabric in there that just keeps my head cool. Never had a problem with it. The headband feels really good. A lot of times I wear hats and the headband just doesn't feel good, especially on my forehead. I start breaking out. This one, not a problem. I've been wearing it a while, been sweating in it, and it's been working out really good. I like the shock cord in the back. I can adjust it. If I'm somewhere where we're cruising real fast, I can tighten it up, cinch it down. I like the toggle system on the chin strap where you can put the neck cape on there and the accessories, the balaclava and all that. So there's no reason not to have total sun protection. Now, I'm one of those guys that just doesn't like to wear sunscreen. I just don't. I don't like putting it on. I don't know. It's just the old school in me. I just don't like doing that. And one way that I get around it is I wear hats with brims on them. So as I'm getting older, I just have to be aware of the fact that melanoma is a concern. So if you're hitting the beach, if you're hitting the water, if you're up here in the mountains, if you're in the snow, you need a level of protection. And these hats are going to deliver on that. If I had to rate this hat, and you folks know out there how I do it where it's either 1 star is a dumper, boom, we're taking it to the boneyard, and 5 stars is a grand slam. I'm looking at this and it's 5 stars. The fit, the finish, the feel, the fabric, the brim, Katie bar the door, 5 stars. Shelta hats, you guys did an awesome job designing and manufacturing this product. If you want to learn more about Shelta hats, I will leave a link in the video description below. They make a few other models of hats, and they have a bunch of different color combos, and they have one in camo as well. With that, this video is a wrap. I'm John with the Wingman 115 channel. Thank you so much for watching. I got to go out there and find my nephew now who's metal detecting and see how many coins he's found. Take care, folks. I'll see you on the next video.